Right. Next, let's talk about the teams in the environment. So right over here on the left, you have your icon features. Activities will tell you, like when somebody has commented on something you've said, where you were when they did it. Here we were in the daily stand-up, and it says Sharon Whitener reacted, and it is right there in the thumbs up symbol. If you receive a phone call, and you're not at your desk, or if you are on a telephone call and you have your phone set to do not disturb, then it will show up as a missed call. Then you have your chat tab, which allows you to look at your chat. And you can go through your history if you're looking for a specific time that you may have talked to somebody, like the last time that Greg and I talked about the Chief of Staff updates and the week at a glance was on the 4th of February, as it says over there on the right. If I want to go back in that chat and see what we discussed, then the information would be there. There's also the Files tab on top of the chat. Any files that you share between you in the meeting will go into that Files chat automatically. There's meeting notes if you take notes. There are also a whiteboard, and it's going to bring up Microsoft Whiteboard where you can basically like using a dry erase board in a classroom where multiple people can put in information at the same time. Or I can use breakout rooms if I'm having a meeting with multiple parties, like a team meeting with 10 people, and I want to pair them up in pairs to work out a project. Then I can put them in 5 breakout rooms of 2 each. I can also hit the plus, and I can choose all different types of apps that I want to use in that meeting. For this purpose, there was nothing there. Your pinned is also the history of chat that you have between an individual. So if I wanted to see, Kimberly Hart, her FAA account is listed as a guest, and it is rare that I have an ability, as you can tell, August 23rd, 2021, I simply said good morning, and that's when I realized that Department of Transportation equipment doesn't communicate with FAA equipment. She also has an Office of Secretary or Transportation account. The next one is your Teams. When you open Teams for the first time here at OIE, you will automatically see the OST M10-DOT Ideas PMO, and we'll explain that in another session, but you want to go into join or create a team, and you want to type in the search code or go into the search teams feature over here and type in M365 support. And when it comes up, mine doesn't come up because it's already here. When it comes up, join the team. And the reason you want to do that is because in this team are all of these different features. Pretty much every Microsoft product that's out there, Department of Transportation has it. If you need something special like MS Project or Visio, then we'd simply do a software request to ask for that. But what these allow you to do is, let's say you want to learn a little more about Teams. So you simply click on it, and then you can actually read all of this chat information from various modes of transportation where they've communicated with the help desk about how to use Teams. You can go into the files, and these files allow you to see short how-tos. You see how to run polls in Teams meetings, how to add a photo to a 365 profile. So like my avatar is my military photograph. But you could simply click on it and it'll open the document here on the Teams environment. It actually opens so that you can see it. And these are the step-by-step instructions for how to change this to this. You simply, once it's open, if you wanted to download it to your desktop, you'd hit more options and either download or open it in the web browser, or you can simply close it and it goes back to the file cabinet. Next is the OST. So this is Office of Secretary of Transportation, M10, which is the Departmental Office of Human Resource Management, or here we call it DORM. DOT, that's Department of Transportation. Ideas, which DOT Ideas is what OIE operates our innovation platform under is DOT Ideas, and PMO simply stands for Project Management Office. When you select the arrow next to it, let's minimize the M365 support. When you select it, there are channels within our PMO SharePoint. Teams operates in a SharePoint environment. You can simply click on the General tab, and you can go to the three dots, and you can choose Open in SharePoint if you're more comfortable operating in a SharePoint. The best way to explain it is the SharePoint is like a file cabinet or a filing location on a shelf in a library. Teams operates like the card catalog or the computer where you go in and you type in what it is you're searching for, and it goes and gives you the shelving location. So here we are on the OST M10 DOT Ideas PMO SharePoint site, and you know it's the SharePoint because it tells you at the top. Over here on the right-hand side under the documents are all of the channels that are contained inside that Teams environment. So I'm going to close this because I don't want to inundate you with how to use the SharePoint when the Teams environment is much easier. In Teams, let's say that you are working on the presentations for the community of practice with the COP lead. The PMO is the confidential site for members of the Office of Innovation and Engagement only. There's no one outside of OIE who's actually a member of this team unless an administrator adds them temporarily or permanently. The community of practice is where we begin developing anything that we're going to do in the community of practice meeting, which is bi-weekly on the first Thursday of each pay period. In the files, this is like your card catalog location, the files, and you can see that we have folders. 2022 is the year that we're currently in, so let's say we want to look at the agendas, and the most recent agenda that's here was January 6, 2022, and this is the PowerPoint. So I simply click on it. It's going to open and show it to me. All right, to add, and choose upload, and I'm going to choose files. And it's going to bring up my computer. I'm going to go to my COP folder. I'm going to get the final COP agenda from January the 20th. And I'm also going to get the final for February 3rd. Should be final edit number 1. And I'm going to hit the open button, and both of them are going to upload here, and it tells me it's uploading 2 items. The first one's here already. While we're waiting on the second one, if you hover over the heading, you look at the 3 dots. If you click on them, you can actually open in the SharePoint the same way that you could open the entire channel in the SharePoint. When this opens, the first thing that comes up is that it tells you your Microsoft login to pick an account. If that's not there and it's your first time to log on, then you would simply put in your email address and right behind the @ symbol, add AD before the dot.gov, and then put in your password that you use to log on to your computer, and it will allow you to access the SharePoint sites. Now, if it doesn't work, the first stop is to check your VPN to make sure you are on the VPN connection. So here is that documents, community of practice, which is the channel, and the folder 2022 agenda, and here's the document. Now I can open it here, or I can share it with other people, or I can click on the dots, and I can choose to download it or whatever I want to do with it. Let's say I want to open it. So I'd simply open it in the app because I want it to open on my desktop, and it's going to tell me this question, and I'm simply going to say open PowerPoint. The reason you'd want to know this is because if you're building the next slide presentation for the next community of practice meeting, you would need to start from the previous meeting. So you can take your information. The first step is to correct the presenter information and the date, and then work out the agenda, put in the information that goes into the various pages. Once you're finished, if you notice, it says autosave is on, That means you have opened the document from the shared environment. Multiple people can be in the document at the same time. When you get finished and you simply hit close, it automatically saves whatever you did in the SharePoint environment, and you notice it says it modified about a minute ago by me, Fred. Folders for just about everything. If there is not a channel here that you believe needs to be here, and remember there are hidden channels. If there's something that's not here that you believe should be here, then you simply want to create it. So you would click on the three dots, click on add a channel. If you are an owner of the PMO, it will allow you to add the channel. If you are not the owner, then you could simply click on the membership. Let's say we want to go look at the team. Here's the team. There are 7 owners. At the bottom is members and guests that are just general members of the team.